Greg Garbus of Four Season Tools. Today I'm going to show you how to build a hoop top with a single piece collar tie. This example is a 30-foot wide greenhouse and it has a single piece collar tie, meaning the collar tie is one piece that's flattened on both ends. Right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a big template on the ground. We started by putting some stakes in the ground 1 inch shy of the width of the tunnel. This is a 30-foot tunnel. So we put these stakes in the ground, we measure from inside to inside 29 feet, 11 inches. That pre-tensions the hoop by 1 inch. So we have a stake right here, we have another stake all the way over here at 29 feet, 11 inches. Then we ran a string in between the two stakes. This string represents what will be parallel to the ground. We took the 2 3/8 hoops. In this case we have two what we call roof hoops right here. And then the little kink piece in the middle is called the ridge hoop. So we put the two ridge hoops down, roof hoops down with the ridge hoop in the middle. Before we put the pieces together, we slid the 2 3/8 brace bands onto the pipe. It's easier to put the brace bands onto the pipe before you put the pipe sections together. So the 2 3/8 brace band, we slid one on this side, and we slid one on this side. Then we put the swodges together. The swodge is the kink piece of the pipe. So the roof hoop went into the ridge hoop on both sides with the brace bands already in place. When we did our first hoop top, what we did is we took a 12-foot single-piece collar tie, right, and we laid it down, and then we measured up from this rope on this side and made sure that that measurement matched on this side, right? When those measurements match, then we're sure that this collar tie is installed will eventually be parallel to the ground, right? We dry fit it. We put our nuts and our bolts in. They use 5/16 by 1.5 inch carriage bolts with a lock nut on both sides. We put the hardware in so that the bolts are facing up and the nuts are up. That allows us, when we use our 1/2 inch socket, to go down on it, and it makes it easier. When we put the carriage bolt in, the carriage bolt stops inside the brace band. It stops it from spinning. When we tighten this, we raise the collar tie up, we snug this down and make sure that this bar is in the center of this bar. Since the 1 3/8 collar tie is thinner than the 2 3/8 hoop, we center it before we snug it down. So once we have it where we want it, we make sure this is parallel to the ground. We've measured equidistant from the line on the bottom on both sides, right? We then run another string, and this string is our template to make sure that all of these are in the same place. So we put 2 more stakes in the ground. We've got one over there. We got another stake over here. We ran the rope in between them, and then we build the rest of them. We need to make sure that our collar ties, this piece right here, is installed parallel to that rope to ensure that it'll end up being parallel to the ground. Once we have it in place, we snug down the brace band bolts on both sides. All right, once that's done, we come and we add a bunch of self-tapping screws. So right here we have 2 impacts. One has a 1/2 inch socket on it for the brace band bolts. The other one is right here and has a 5/16 magnetic bit on it, and that's for the number 12 self-tapping screws. We put a self-tapping screw in the brace band, and we put 2 self-tapping screws in the seam between the ridge hoop and the roof hoop. These 2 self-tapping screws, you want to make sure that they go into both pieces right here. So we have screws in the brace bands, we've got screws at the hoop seams, we've snugged down both of the bolts for our collar tie, and that means that it's now finished assembly. The last thing that we're going to do before we move this off is we're going to mark where our different purlins will go. There'll be a ridge purlin, so we're just going to put a mark right in the center between these 2 pieces, and we're going to put another mark basically halfway between the ridge purlin, and will eventually be the hip board at the shoulder of the tunnel, which is right here. So there'll be another mark basically right here. This is where the roof purlins will go, and this is where the ridge purlin goes. When we put those marks down just with a Sharpie marker, we just want to make sure that they're nice and long so that we can see them from the ground.